otherwise you get a disproportionate comparison.
The project was, initially we started out saying we wanted to do something on evaluating public dialogue, and then obviously we needed to find a focus for that because that's a huge subject. So we've looked at all the evaluations that have been done so far, and the two things that were missing in most evaluations were any overall way of assessing the quality of the process, criteria that would apply to all processes, all dialogue processes. And the other one was about measuring cost effectiveness. So we focused the work on those two things and talked to a lot of people and did a lot of desk research and came up with 12, what are now 13, but 12 new criteria for assessing public dialogue, all public dialogue, at national level, and a 4-step process for using those criteria and a way of assessing costs and benefits that people could use in future. And the idea is to come up with something which is very practical and helps people think through what are the issues around costs and benefits rather than trying to come up with a simple one-figure answer. So, and that's what we've done. And so today we were presenting the first version of that and talking with people about how that might be improved, which bits, whether they thought any of it was a good idea, what they would like to change, and had a really good discussion. Overall, the things which I was concerned about was, firstly, whether people thought it was worthwhile having a generic set of criteria, because people resist that, because every process is different. People often say you need to have different criteria for every process, but people were very keen on having one set of criteria that would apply to many processes, which could be added to, but a basic level of criteria of quality, so you could assess quality and you could assess success. So they were very supportive of that, and they were also very supportive of the way in which we were talking about measuring costs and benefits, which was to do a qualitative analysis, not just adding up numbers. And so, so in terms of the overall framework of what we were proposing, which was a 4-step process for assessing projects, which included quality and cost effectiveness, it was really good to check that out with people, and they were very keen that that should happen. There was also lots of input on the detailed content. So, for example, the reason I said now 13 criteria is because there was one extra one which people felt should go in. I might try and lose one because 13 is never very good. But really useful, detailed stuff about content, both about specific words, but also about what is good practice, how do you measure it, and the importance of having something that's very simple that people can use to make their own assessments and for evaluators to use. The main impact immediately will be that I'll rewrite my report on the whole thing, and we will then produce guidance, and that will be changed by what people were saying today, because people were giving feedback about how it will be perceived as well as the sort of detail about how it might be used. So it was really valuable, detailed comments and discussion, both on the content of it and the sort of wider implications of measuring costs and benefits and how important that is, particularly at the moment. Today was really valuable for 3 things. Partly for forcing me to think about the audiences for the work, which makes you think about it differently. Partly for the detailed knowledge that people brought to it, so that they were able to comment in detail on the content because they're so knowledgeable. And partly because they're very enthusiastic about it. So it was a very energetic, enthusiastic discussion which re-energized me, because you spend a lot of time doing this work sitting on your own, and it's very good to then take it out to people and have their energy and enthusiasm come into it. So you go away feeling much more positive about getting it right next time.